Greetings to our viewing audience. This is Miko Evans and
Sean Allen, the founder of Sean Inspires here in Atlanta, Georgia.
get ready for a new spring edition episode of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News.
We're ready. We're ready.
Greetings once again to our viewing audience. Of course, this is Miko Evans, founder of the world's first LGBTQ exclusive talent agency and production company, and welcome to another spring edition of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News, where we give you the very best in community news and interviews, showcasing our unsung heroes and sheroes within the LGBTQ plus community. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click like, be sure to comment, because we always need your support, especially since we're still in the midst of our 15th anniversary in media. Thank you so much for being with us these 15 years. Once again, to find out more information about our vision and how you can also be a special guest on our show, please check out all of the information that's located at the bottom of your screen. You can also call our toll-free office hotline at 1-855-MEEK-PRO. Once again, that's 1-855-632-5776, extension 803 for our media division, and we look forward to having you. Of course, you know we're all on social media at Meak Productions. That's MEAK as in kite, Productions with an S. It is so awesome to always have special guests in our studio, and the interesting thing about this lovely guest right here is that we actually met on the fabulous app Alignable, and we just happened to just actually attract each other when you think about it. And as I was networking and everything like that, we actually ran across each other online. Never know that we was going to meet each other in person. Last year at the mayor's reception for Atlanta Pride.
That's correct.
And we briefly ran into each other, and we had a chance to officially meet. Actually, this past Thursday? This past Thursday at the Out Georgia Business Alliance at one of their weekly business luncheons. So I want to give a shout out to the Out Georgia Business Alliance, where we're actually in our fourth year of being their media partner. Out Georgia Business Alliance, of course, is the state of Georgia's only LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. So check them out at www.outgeorgia.org. And that information is located at the bottom of your screen. Sean!
Yes. We're here.
What's going on?
Well, it's Saturday morning and it's raining outside.
Okay. This is a weekend pre-recorded show.
Yes. I'm excited to be here. And first, I want to say thank you for having me. Your energy. You know, everything is energy. Your presence always, every time I've seen you. This gentleman is always high energy. He's always smiling, always upbeat. Even if he doesn't speak, you can feel how powerful he is. So I'm so glad to be here today sharing with you in the 15th year anniversary. It is a privilege and a pleasure to share with your listening audience.
Thank you so much for being a part of this moment. And it's just so awesome for us to have our first real moment together here on our show. Let's get into your humble beginnings and stuff. Let's start with, first of all, where you hail from,
Sure.
how long you've been in the ATL area,
Yes.
and we're going to actually get into your coming out story.
Okay, awesome. So I'm originally from the Big Easy, as the people call it, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Born and raised Creole.
Creole?
And moved to Atlanta shortly after Hurricane Katrina.
Okay, gotcha.
And that was my first transport here to the city, and stayed a few years before moving to Baltimore to take an administrative role in a nonprofit organization. Came back in 2018. So Atlanta for me now is like home, right? I left 3 times. It's the charm time now. Music, the charm. So I love it. It's a city where there's so much cultural history for us as not just LGBTQ individuals, but also culturally when we talk about Black history and the civil rights movement. So to be home in a place where you can be your authentic self, I knew I had to come back to Atlanta.
Wow.
Yes,
awesome.
and it's exciting. It's been great.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome. Let's get into your personal testimony. First of all, growing up, when did you know that you was different?
Okay, so I had this story I shared riding with Bridget the other day in the car. And as a kid, I was always fascinated, one, with fashion. And I knew I was a lot of introvert energy, but I was also very creative as an Aquarian. And so I would wait till all my siblings go outside to play. And then my mom had this beautiful green and white silk robe and her fancy shoes that went with the robe, and I would put it on and wear it and walk around the house. So I knew then, clearly at 7 or 8 years old,
I love it.
you are not the normal boy, right? But I always knew that this was my lifestyle. I didn't feel like, oh, I had to decide if it was my lifestyle. I believe God who created me, God who loves me, knew me before I came through the womb of my mother.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What, because I think a lot of people fail to realize how it was, especially for our generation, how it was for us growing up in the Confederate South, believe it or not, the Bible Belt. And so, did you experience a lot of bullying, teasing, or discrimination growing up, or was you able to actually be in a loving environment? Because I know everybody didn't have that opportunity.
It was I would say, because my mother's side readily embraced me, but my father's side of the family, I was of a split family. My dad, when I told him at 18 years old, I was living with him at the time from 6th grade up until my first year of college, and I told him, and he just like, no, my son is not gay, and you're not my son. So my father and I went many, many years without speaking, and now we're in a great relationship, but it took almost 2 decades to repair all that broken. Outside of that, like in school, at work, I never had like bullying issues. If anything, people was just always drawn to me and just embraced me. Even in high school, I was most courteous, voted, a senior superlative. But I never really had to fight or defend my position. But I did have to fight and defend my relationship to win my father over.
Wow, awesome. Wow. Wonderful that you are actually able to to have a wonderful relationship with your father now. Let's get into also your background as it relates to how was you able to reconcile your sexuality with your spirituality?
Very good question, Miko, that you asked. I did another interview a few years ago that the gentleman was like, I've watched you and I've read a lot of the things. You have God at the center of everything that you do. And I became a Christian at 22 years old. I always went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade, but that to me was ritualistic. It wasn't relationship, prayer, fasting, all of those principles. However, for me, back to God knowing me, I always knew that God knew me, even when I really didn't know who God was and who God is. When I was being transparent, the first place I went to share my testimony was the church. Because Catholic church, the doors were always open. You could just walk in and pray. And so I walked in. I'll never forget it. Before I told my dad, and I sat there and I prayed, and I really didn't even know what prayer was, but I knew that I could always talk to God. Yeah. And so for me now, it is my lifestyle. It's not compartmentalized, right? Sometimes people compartmentalize spirituality, religion from their being. No, it is completely a part of who I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are a spiritual being having a human experience.
Absolutely.
It's not the other way
Yeah,
around.
absolutely. Very well said. Very well said.
It's not the other way around.
Very well said.
Let's get into some other things as well.
Sure.
When did you make that transition from, because I know you probably had experience in corporate America, you just talked about it, but when did you decide that entrepreneurship is the way for me to fulfill my purpose?
I had a journey where I started out in many different business sectors. First, it was in luxury retail back home in New Orleans. Then from luxury retail, I started working in church administration. Then from church administration to entertainment, working for a composer and film producer. And then went back to luxury retail. It was in 2017. I've always had leadership roles where I was always delegating and giving advice and leading teams. But after that year, I had been with Neiman Marcus maybe 7 years.
Really?
I was a product specialist, and I felt it was time to turn. I didn't want to be a general manager. I didn't want to become a buyer. I didn't want to go into a marketing division. And it was always told to me by other leaders that I would be an entrepreneur, but I didn't really know what that full picture looked like, right? So 2017, one of my mentors was in the store at the time, and they mentioned, like, you're done with this. I don't know the other side for you. That's your work to do. And I went on a self-discovery journey. And it was the path that led into Sean Inspires. And then the build out of what Sean Inspires would be comprised of.
Wow, that
It was
is
a
beautiful.
faith, it was a faith journey because I had no plan. I had no plan at all. And even when I thought I was getting ready to do it, just a little quick note, I was invited for a position in LA. Always wanted to live in LA and back in healthcare. And when I got in the interview, the lady said one word, who's the new chief medical officer, and I was like, this is not my job. This is not my job. And so I had to tell my person who referred me, like, I can't do this. This is not, it's not resignating, it's not sitting. And so great for the opportunity, but it wasn't it. The next level was moving in entrepreneurship.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? On that note, let's go to our only commercial break.
Sure.
When we come back, we have more with the awesome Sean Inspires.
Thank you, guys.
Right here on Meak Pro Media Special Edition News. Don't go anywhere. We have more in store.
More coming.
You're tuned in to Meak Productions syndicated shows. Don't go anywhere. We do have more in store.
Hey there, this is George Carlton, President of the Metro Atlanta Association of Professionals. Are you looking to expand your business, seeking employment connections, or want to grow your professional network but don't love traditional networking? The MAP is right for you. As Atlanta's first LGBTQ+ business association, we pioneered partnerships and networking with Atlanta's leading changemakers to help you connect authentically, in person and online, with people from diverse industries, identities, and histories. For more information about membership and being part of our legacy, visit our website at www.maapatl.org. Once again, that's mapatl.org. We look forward to connecting with you real soon.
Meak Productions is proud to be an official media partner for this organization.
I'm Ronnie Bass. I'm the founder and executive director of Someone Cares Inc. of Atlanta.
As a trusted mental health and HIV testing center in the state of Georgia for over 23 years, Someone Cares of Atlanta offers a safe, welcoming space for everyone seeking support and care. Whether you're looking for primary care, specialized treatment, support for mental health challenges and domestic violence, or STD testing and treatment, Someone Cares is here to walk with you on your journey to a healthier, happier life. Also, their new fully licensed on-site pharmacy is available to all patients and members of the broader Atlanta community. For more information on hours of operation, please visit www.s1catl.org. Once again, that's S1catl.org, or call 678-661-5227.
One Magical Weekend 2025 is proud to be an official kickoff party for World Pride and welcomes visitors from around the world to an unforgettable experience in Orlando, only at Walt Disney World Resorts. OMW and Pride Radio are proud to introduce our incredible lineup of 14 international DJs, bringing you the beats from across the globe. DJ Paolo, DJ Kitty Glitter, DJ Anna Floor, DJ Mickey Friedman, DJ Jay Warren, DJ Mohammed, DJ Nick Strassener, DJ Alex Lowe, DJ Jirac, DJ Lisa Rodriguez, DJ Kyle House, DJ Idil Hernandez, DJ JB Burgos, DJ Chris Sugden. Join us for an incredible celebration of love, unity, and music as we kick off World Pride 2025 with a weekend of magic like no other at One Magical Weekend. For more information, tickets, and to book your stay at our host hotel, visit onemagicalweekend.com.
What's going on to our viewing audience? And we're back with the last half of Meak Pro Media Special Edition News, another spring edition. And of course, we're back with Sean Inspires is in the house.
We're here.
Let's get into a deep dive of what is Sean Inspires, what was the inspiration behind you creating it, and what is its mission and purpose?
So I read a book years ago by Wayne Dyer, and most people know who Wayne Dyer is.
The late and the great
Yes.
Wayne Dyer.
Yes, he's an
There's a
author.
spiritual solution to every problem.
Absolutely.
That was my introduction to him.
I love it. And so that was a book that I purchased from him called Inspiration, My Highest Calling. And I purchased this book years ago. And the word inspiration resonated with my being as a person. And I'll never forget, my stepmother had given me a card. And she wrote a note in the card, and she said, you know, you are an inspiration to the world. And I was maybe 30 years old then. So the word inspiration always stayed with me. So in 2017, on the self-discovery journey, I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? This entrepreneurship, right? And I heard Sean Inspires. Clearly, audibly, I heard it. But the next thing was, what does Sean Inspires look like, right? Then podcasts came. I have a friend who's a 2-time Olympian track star, and he texts me saying, hey, Alan, I need some advice. So I text him back. As I was releasing the information, I audibly heard create a podcast. Now, this is 2017. I didn't even know what a podcast really was. He was texting me back saying, Alan, with that information, create a podcast. I did the grassroots work to build Sean Inspires podcast in 2017.
Wow.
So that was the first component of it. Then the book came, the manuscript for Flow Devotional, which is a book on transformation, inspiration, 30-day self-help. So the manuscript was written in that framework of building it out in 2017. But the book didn't get produced until last year. So it took 7 years. So building, guys, for those out there who want to be and aspire to be entrepreneurs, everything doesn't happen as you and I know.
It doesn't happen overnight.
As
It does not happen overnight. I'm a living witness.
Listen, as the new word on the street is, it's been cooking a long time.
Yes.
It's been cooking. So that was the second part. And then in 2018, I was at a charity function, and a young lady was eavesdropping on a conversation, and she said, are you a life coach? I'm like, oh, God, here we go.
What?
Here is the seed planting for life coach. So I went into study, became certified specifically just in life coaching, not any other coaching like relationship coaching, none of that. So that was the meat of the money-making portion.
What institute did you go through to get your certification in life coaching?
UDMI.
Oh, okay,
yes,
gotcha.
UDMI, and I studied specifically in transformation because that is one of my gifts. When people are looking to discover who they are, their purpose, their passion, you have to go through that phase of transformation to really get into that realm and to really identify yourself. So
be ye transformed by the renewing.
That's it.
Come on.
That's it. That's it. And so the beauty of it all is I've watched this baby grow. I've watched me grow with Sean Inspires. And now as an author, as a speaker, as a life coach, and helping build people's lives, I never thought I was a patient person with people, even as a leader, because I taught in a way that everything I teach you, you function, you flow for success, right? But now coaching has birthed in me patience, because as a coach, you walk along the path.
Absolutely.
It's not like a therapist, oh, come back and see me in 30 days. No, there's homework involved.
Absolutely.
There's follow-up and accountability involved, and I love it. It's amazing.
That's what many of us in the divine circle, divine consciousness and metaphysical consciousness circle, that's what we call shadow work. Doing that shadow work.
Absolutely.
Because it's something about doing that shadow work, because I talk about it often now, to where in order to go to that next level, everybody want to talk about going to the fifth dimension, but it's like, okay, you want to get to that fifth dimension, you got to do that shadow work. You got to go into them dark places.
Right. Absolutely.
You got to sit in your mess.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes, Miko, that's not easy.
It's not easy at all.
It's really
I'm a living
not the
witness.
easiest thing to do, but oftentimes for the beings that are ready to do the work,
Yes.
they're the ones that reap the greatest harvest when it comes to transformation and life purpose.
Absolutely.
And moving about the world with clarity and being
Mm-hmm.
confident in who they are.
And I think that's one of the things that harmful theology does. They give you this false, really this false ideology that, you know, sometimes things can happen like this, like this, like this. And it's like, no, you got to put in the work. You have to put in the work in order for, you know, for you to get the full benefit. You know, everything is not going to come easy. And you have to actually face your biggest fears in order to get that big, that great outcome and that big blessing that you are worthy of and that you deserve and stuff like that. So this is what I love about what you're doing.
Wow. You get all the glory for it. You know, I'm a vessel that just decided to open myself up. When Sean Inspires came to me, I opened myself and I yielded my heart and my mind to whatever it is that God wanted to do in and through me, right? Not many of us are really in that yielding place. We can start a business, we can launch a business, but we're moving with trend.
And we're also operating in survival mode.
Yeah.
And we're operating in, I always teach people in my entrepreneurial sessions, never do stuff out of desperation. Never operate in desperation. Do not panic. Perfect love casteth out fear.
That's it.
So you can never do something, you know, from a foundation of fear and panic and desperation, because you always end up making the incorrect decisions when you operate in desperation. That's one of the biggest lessons that came to me starting last year. You know what I'm saying? When I go back over my 30 years of entrepreneurship, and hindsight is always 20/20. And then when you look at, you know, it wasn't the business that you were in, it was how we did business, the way that we did business. Yes. How do we tweak this? Right. You know, did we have the right people around us? Realizing that all money ain't good money, because sometimes we can be chasing fool's gold.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No, absolutely. It's absolutely true. And being aligned. You mentioned we met on Alignable. And even for me in 2025, there were certain things that I intentionally set. I'm not a vision board guy, but I'm a visionless guy. I'm a firm believer in writing and speaking, decreeing and declaring. So that's how the manifestation operation works in my business. And I've learned that is an art to it.
It sure is.
There's an art to it. And the thing is, when you're working to fulfill a vision, you have to be consistent with it. You have to be consistent. And I believe consistency doesn't mean that consistency is when you don't feel like it. Because we're human. When you don't feel your highest self, you remain true. You talked about mission. You remain true to the mission.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And another thing that, for those of you who are watching, to tie along with what you're saying, you have to also learn how to have a creation and recreation balance. Because because one of the things as a creative person, you don't want to get caught up in burnout. You're supposed to make sure you have, as you are being consistent, listen to your body. I always tell people, you either rest the body or the body will rest for you. And it'll do it in very inconvenient times. So rest the body. When your body says rest, then you rest. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you're doing away with your mission or anything like that. You remember, in order for you to constantly stay healthy and active in your mission, you do need those times for recreation so that you can recharge, so that you can rejuvenate. That is very important. Go ahead.
It is, and I also think for high-functioning entrepreneurs, that part, when I work as a life coach, I've learned that part is lacking in a lot of their lives. When we start to craft a plan on what that looks like and how you balance your time and how you are being creatively refueled so you can continue to produce and produce sustainable and quality work.
Why?
When you're operating at burnout, you're not giving people quality, you're giving them fumes and remnant.
Ooh, say that, brother. Say that. Come through now.
You're giving people fumes and remnant when you're operating off of burnout.
Yes.
And no one deserves burnout.
Absolutely.
When they're spending not just their money, but their time and their energy. It's an investment. Right?
Absolutely.
And so to operate well, it is important that you take time for you. Self-care has always been around.
Absolutely.
It's just been coined now in the marketing phase. But how many of us have really implemented that self-care into our practice?
Absolutely, because the reason why many of us have not actually experienced self-care, even know what that is because we've been heavily indoctrinated. We've had to experience and overcome the indoctrination, which led to toxic outcomes that really was not for our highest good. And so once we realized the difference between what that indoctrination was versus what self-care really is, then that's how we was able to get our full breakthrough and deliverance.
Absolutely. I know for me, there's a regimen that I have. I have a lifestyle of eating healthy, prayer, meditation, and fasting, working out consistently. And the times that I have not continued in that schedule, it seems like everything is starting to fall apart because it becomes a part of your lifestyle. And so you build healthy boundaries so that even if you're traveling and on the road, you carve out that space, that time for your 15-minute meditation. You carve out that space and time to go and take a 20-minute walk or jog or stand in the air and breathe fresh air, right? All of those things are important.
Yes.
Especially when you're a leader and leading a team of people.
Absolutely.
You have to take care of yourself. I cannot stress it enough, the importance of taking care of yourself.
Especially when you are in the creative and artistic industries. It is very important that you have that downtime.
Absolutely.
Those people who are in executive positions, as you just mentioned earlier, anybody that's in a position of CEO, COO, any type of director positions or leadership positions, it is very important that you have that time of private meditation, that you take those walks. Because I had to learn that as well. You know, speaking of how I was able to regain my energy from a period in my entrepreneurship where there was some burnout. And once I began to start centering in myself, getting back to the center, connecting to the omniverse, and able to call my energy back. As Maxine Waters say, I'm reclaiming my time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Any of my energy that went into a place that did not empower me nor inspire me, no, you can reclaim your energy. You can call your energy back. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And so hearing that, it is important for people to know the power of, in psychology, it's called self-actualization, which means is each individual have the propensity to reach their highest potential. And that is being able to call back your power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is in store for the future for Sean Inspires? What do you see in the future? Both immediate and later.
Well, you know, I mentioned yielded to whatever it is that God want to do in me and through me. So I always ask him to show me what I need to see within me and in my business. And whatever he shows me in the avenue and how I should move, that is what I move in. So now I'll give you a snippet. I'm working on the project, especially at this climate we're in. It's a heavy climate.
Yes, it is.
And it is an opportunity to bring people together that are creatives from many different backgrounds to pull out an evening where people can really just show their gift, stage their talent, and everybody who's present be uplifted. So that's a snippet of what's coming in the next few months for Sean Inspires. But long term, because I love what I do as a life coach, is purpose for me. It's not just about money. And recently, I have to share this with someone. Recently, I had an encounter with a prophet from back home and didn't really know the guy, but he was connected to a community of mine and a trusted prophet, right? The gentleman sends me a text after he leaves Atlanta on a speaking engagement. And he says, you will no longer chase money. Money will chase you.
That's scripture. For those of you that don't realize that scripture, seek ye first the kingdom.
Absolutely.
And its righteousness, and all these things will be added. You're not supposed to be chasing coin. It's you attract. This is part of the law of attraction. Go ahead.
And so hearing that, it was a reminder for me, because I've always walked into things that things were drawn to me. And I never felt like I was ever chasing. Opportunities came. But hearing that reminder again, it rooted me in such a place of, God got you. He brought you this far into your business, and he's going to take you to the next realm of your business. So it's exciting, and I love it. It's exciting.
Awesome.
It's
awesome.
exciting.
How can people reach you and follow you and everything that you're doing?
So you can find me. I am on social media. Instagram, I am Sean 888. So it's I am Sean SEAN 888. Or you can visit my website, Sean-inspires.com. You can find me there. Inbox me, send messages. All the info is there if you want coaching. My new book, Flow Devotional. It's a 30-day self-help. We all need that right now.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can find it there. Also in other outlets. It's Barnes & Noble, Amazon. It's available. Let's work. Let's do the work.
And all of that information that he just described is located at the bottom of your screen. So be to follow him. Be sure to support him. And I'm just so glad that you're here. I'm looking forward to what we can do together as well.
I'm excited. I mentioned to you, let's co-create.
Yeah,
This is
let's
it.
do this. Let's
is
do
it.
this because
It's
I'm loving our
amazing.
energy and stuff. Because, you know, everybody that knows me know I'm always into spirituality and connecting to the divine cosmic energy and to the omniverse. And so that's where I'm at right now. That's how I connect to the infinite intelligence. And everything that you're saying is just right in line with the work I'm already doing.
It's amazing.
It's
And-
wonderful.
And what's coming for you is even greater than what you could even imagine.
Wow.
So steady yourself.
Yes.
Steady yourself.
You know I'm
Yes.
receiving this, right? I'm receiving and becoming this, okay?
Awesome. This
I
has
love
been
it.
amazing.
This has been
It's been
awesome.
awesome.
For those of you that are tuned in right now, once again, thank you so much for being a part of our show. Don't forget to check out all of the information that's located at the bottom of your screen. To those of you who are interested in winning a free pass to the upcoming One Magical Weekend, which is one of the main Pride events at Walt Disney World Resorts in Orlando, Florida, be sure to check out all of the information located at the bottom of your screen so you can win a free VIP pass to this event.
Free,
all right,
y'all. He said
free.
free.
Okay, join us in the celebration. Until our next episode, we love you. We appreciate you. We're grateful to the Creator of the Omniverse for your existence and your contribution to the human family. Sean, I love you.
Love you back. Take care, guys.
Take care, baby.
Brand new